Hey, Bob Mangino here. Before buying a Naples condo, what are the critical documents you need to review before signing a real estate contract? To save money, the key documents are the buyer's broker's agreement, the seller's commitment to pay your agent's commission, the new flood disclosure, the seller's property disclosure. Now let's take a look at the following slides to save you money and make a good assessment of the property you're thinking about purchasing. This is a buyer's broker's agreement that an agent will have their customer sign before they tour any properties or before an agent can write a contract for their customer. It'll have the buyer's name. It'll have the brokerage that the agent works for. It'll have what properties they will be looking at. It'll have the terms of agreement. How long is the buyer broker agreement going to be for? Is it going to be for 1 weekend or 1 week or one month? Well, one of the key parts of this, and one of the most controversial parts, is what will the agent be charging their customer for their services, and they'll be indicating on this particular line. And what we're going to be doing in the next slide is showing how the buyer can have the seller pay their buyer's agent's commission. This way, the buyer will not have to bring that money to closing. It's a way the buyer can ask the seller to pay their buyer's agent commission, and how the buyer can get the seller to make that commitment before the buyer signs any real estate contract. So we'll be going over that procedure in the next slide. This is a very important document for the buyer, because what this document is, it's the seller's commitment that they will be paying the buyer's agent commission, so the buyer doesn't have to pay their buyer's agent's commission. So this is the seller's commitment that they will be paying X% of the purchase price of the property for the buyer's agent's commission. But the most important thing about this for the buyer is that they have to get this commitment in writing from the seller prior to them signing the real estate contract. It's real important they get this commitment first, because once that time period goes past and the buyer ends up signing the real estate contract, the seller is then really off the hook, and the buyer has lost all leverage in getting the seller to pay their buyer's agent's commission. So it's very important for the buyer to get the seller to sign this document, and for the buyer to receive this document prior to them signing any real estate contract. This is another one of the documents that need to be signed by the seller and given to the buyer prior to signing the real estate contract. It has the property address. It's a flood disclosure by the seller. If they have any knowledge of flooding, if they filed any claims, whether they received any assistance, whether they know of any overflow of inland or tidal waters, whether they know of any unusual rapid accumulation of runoff or surface water from rivers or streams, or they know any sustained periods of standing water resulting from rainfall. But this is just one more document that the seller needs to provide to the buyer prior to them signing the contract, or at the time of signing the contract. Another document that the seller should provide to the buyer is a seller disclosure statements, and this is for the specific property. Lets the buyer know whether it was owner occupied, lets the buyer know anything about any problems with the appliances or the electrical system or the plumbing. It lets them know how old is the AC system and the water heater, how old is the roof, or do they have any structural problems? Has there been any permitted work done on the problem? Have they experienced any flooding? Uh, have they had any problem with radon or termites? Have they made any insurance claims on the property? This is a good roadmap for the buyer to get a preview from the seller as to the condition of the property. In conclusion, we looked at the documents that you need to review before signing a real estate contract, the buyer's broker's agreement, the seller's commitment to pay your agent's commission, the flood disclosure, and the seller's property disclosure. Congratulations on your due diligence. If you have any real estate questions, give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. My contact information is below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click the video above.